Being a late millennial, I'm almost 30. It's been a very long time since I was introduced to anime. I remember as a kid, being black, when you were younger, liking anime as an African American was really seen as lame in our culture. Like, I'm just really flabbergasted that years later in our current culture, it's like the hip thing to be an anime fan. It seems like every black person now publicly acknowledges they like anime. But I remember growing up, if you liked anime, you were seen as a nerd or outcast, but it's just all the rage now. I guess the times have changed. Being an anime fan myself for so long, there's been a lot of talk in the anime and manga or just Japanese media in general about the representation of minorities, especially black people or dark-skinned people. I've heard a lot of talks over the years that Japan is racist because they don't have as much representation with dark-skinned people. You know, there have been talks by a lot of people saying that Japan loves light-skinned and white people, and if foreigners are being represented in a certain medium or show, it's usually white people. And then I've also heard a lot of complaints that when it comes to black representation, a lot of them are exaggerated features like big lips, big eyes, follow a lot of stereotypes. And there's kind of been this outrage for more representation in anime as we enter this woke culture in which everyone wants to be represented in some way or fashion. If people love a medium, they tend to want to see themselves in that medium. To really give a solid perspective on my views on this, I want to start from the beginning. I think most products in media and production in Japan is mainly made for Japanese people. I think that a lot of foreigners or non-Japanese or people who live outside Japan, we just like content that is mainly made for Japanese people. Very seldomly do you see Japanese products being catered to the West, unless it's like a big franchise, maybe like Pokemon or something like that. So knowing that, I know they're not trying to cater to Westerners. They just want to entertain Japanese people. Now, I will admit, as a country, a lot of media comes from the culture. And I would say generally a lot of Japanese people are ignorant about things outside of Japan. I've been to Japan myself. I have a lot of Japanese friends, and this is definitely the common census. It seems like most Japanese people live in a box where they're aware of certain things, but they don't know too much about anything outside of Japan. So when it comes to mediums that try to portray foreigners or non-Japanese or dark-skinned characters, a lot of anime fans complain that it's either a hit or miss. And most times I can agree. I think some depictions of black people are a little bit outrageous. For example, I forgot his name, but that one black guy from Shaman King, looking back now, I see how goofy he is, but seeing that anime is inspired by Disney and manga was originally based off or influenced by Disney. And we know back in the day, old cartoons from the 1940s, 30s, and 50s were extremely racist. So maybe that's where partially Japanese creators got their inspiration from, was these over-exaggerated features of black people in American content. Honestly, even though things are kind of hit and miss when it comes to, I guess, black people in anime, I have more of an understanding because I know this medium is not necessarily made for me. It's made for Japanese people. I'm not too sure if Japanese people care about how much representation foreigners are getting in their mediums. Not only that, I think if a character is compelling enough, I don't think it really matters what they look like for the most part. Some of my favorite fictional characters are characters that don't look like me. Batman, Spider-Man, Naruto, Spike Spiegel. None of these characters have the same skin tone or look anything like me. And it is easier for lighter skinned races or groups like Asians or white people to cosplay as these characters. But to me, when a story has a good written character, I believe it transcends race or how you look. And what I don't desire in medium is forced diversity and people make a character a certain way just to fit a diversity quota. I like when things are natural. Even me myself, as I've created characters, I plan on creating comic books and manga in the future. That's my goal. When characters just pop up to me, they just pop up. I don't really care much about skin color. And I like when anime or shows in general are just natural with how they design their characters, especially in Western media where everything seems now it has to have a person of color, it has to have a gay person, it has to have this. It's like, is this a natural idea you had, or you wanted to just complete a list because you want to be woke, have representation? So really, because I know how Japanese creators approach their works, mainly for Japanese people, I don't mind if they hit or miss. Now, some people may say that's not an excuse as Japan is becoming more popular in foreign markets. Anime is an international phenomenon. Japan does have to be more careful in how it executes its creativity. But I will give a plus to that argument, but really and truly, I'm not really worried about if there's that much black characters in anime. I think it's great. If creators want to make more black characters or foreign inspired characters or dark skinned characters, I think that's great. Some of my favorite black characters in anime is Dutch from Black Lagoon. I think he is a black guy done extremely well in an anime. I like Butcher from Air Gear. Even though I didn't like how they went with the racial kind of story plot with Panther and Aisho 21, I think Panther is a fantastic character. But I want Japan to get better at representing other races, of course. But at the end of the day, I know this medium is not necessarily catered to me. This medium is made for Japanese people to consume. I don't think Japan necessarily, again, is really caring about if they represent certain groups or stereotypes or people right. Because a lot of the times I watch anime for the plot and for its characters who inspire me and who are just greatly written. Because I think regardless of what medium, how a thing looks, if it does its job well, it can influence outside its cultural boundaries. For example, there may be a music genre that you don't really like as much, but if a song is really done well, you might end up liking it. So now that song has reached someone outside, people who enjoys that genre, it's reached somebody else who doesn't necessarily listen to that genre. And listen, if dark-skinned people want to cosplay as anime characters, go ahead. I have no problem with that. I mean, it's not like you can change your skin tone to match the skin tone of the character you're cosplaying. And is there some racist people? Of course, there's racist people everywhere. But I don't get too caught up in, anime is racist, we need more representation, blah, 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 blah. To me, if it's there, I love it. If it's not there, it doesn't matter. At least that's how I approach things. So this is my first video on this Burnt Sushi channel. I plan to do anime reviews, introspective essays, things of that nature concerning anime, manga, movies, maybe just general entertainment, nerd stuff, especially Japanese related stuff. My name is Kill, and I thank you guys for watching this video, and I'm happy to have you guys on this channel. Like and subscribe, and yeah, definitely I'll be posting more videos on this channel, so look forward to that.